All right, so it is Jude here, and I am coming to do another vlog. Come on, baby, you already go. I'm coming to do a. Hold on, my eye is itchy. I'm doing a vlog, and I got some questions because these things are on my own brain. So we hear people. Okay, thank you, Siri. We hear people discussing independence a lot. I mean, in history.
At the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn left north Eldridge Park.
Countries have, you know, supposedly wanted their independence from other world governments, all this type of things. In America, we have this big thing about independence, being independent, okay? And my thing is, for those of us who are so-called spiritual and we have understandings that really none of us, well, I don't know how people understand. So I'm trying to, okay. Okay, look, ma'am, you need to make up now, Siri. I can't do all these. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out, where does this idea or this concept of being totally independent as a so-called adult or grown person, viable life source entity come from? When there are multiple things that are separate from the entity that must, and I am speaking in a riddle right now. I will try to make it clear. But there are multiple individual entities that must be in cooperation in order for a society or even a village or community or a person or even a world government to be effective. So my question then, on a microscopic level, when it comes to you and I, why are we expected to be independent in order to be so-called a viable citizen, a person who is capable and all this of their, like, I don't understand that. I believe I'm not understanding this. Some of us aren't even considered. Okay, now, Siri, now I need you, and you ain't talking. I don't understand. Road. You said Britmore Road. Boom. Moving on. There is something where this society has people thinking that they're supposed to be able to do literally everything that it requires for them to live and be sustained and even thrive. That you have to do that all by yourself without help from anybody or anything. And that doesn't make sense to me when even nature itself speaks a different thing. Nature shows us something totally different. Yes, there are things that were created and designed. They have their own genetic makeup. They have their own Torah. Whenever I use the word Torah, I mean instructions, directions, directives. They have their own thing that they're supposed to follow, their own guidelines they're supposed to follow. But in the grand scheme of things, they are useful and are necessary for life to continue. Even if some people don't understand their role, even if some people don't think them important, they still actually are. So to apply this same concept to people, what makes us an independent person? People may say things like, oh, you have to be able to provide for yourself. Okay, what does provision for self look like? What does that really look like? Because the things that I've heard people talk about when it comes to being able to provide for oneself, they say things like food, like shelter, like having work in order to get these things and acquire these things for yourself. But I mean, Where does the job, where does the work come from? Where does the food come from? Because in our society, the way that we are now, we are certainly not an independent people. We're not even a fucking independent nation, country, government. We all function together as the solar system. So we need help. Our country has to borrow from other people on a microscopic level, individually. There are people who are out here and make it look like they're being independent, but you're not independent. If you're not working in some way or connected in some way to this government, getting something from this government or from another person, God forbid, from another person. You're getting something from somebody else. Oh my God, Jude, speak clearly. You're getting something from someone else in some way, shape, or form, whether they want to give it to you, whether you have to ask for it, whether you have to jump through certain hoops to acquire it and attain it. You are still, therefore, not independent in the way that some people try to make independence out to be. And I have a problem with folks demanding that people be independent when independence, that's not even natural. Even as a god or a goddess, independence is not even natural. Let me explain what I mean. Even being a creator, you create. Why? What are you fucking creating for? If you don't need anything else, if you don't desire anything outside of yourself, then, or excuse me, let me say this. If you don't desire evidentiary support of that which resides already in you, what are you creating for? Most of us create so that we can see evidence of something, of maybe our power, or because we feel that we don't have something and we want to experience that thing. So we think about it and we focus on it until some type of proof of evidence that it really exists comes about. And that's a continuous cycle. Even when we aren't aware that we're actually responsible or that we're actually creating something, there is something that we focus on, whether from a state of abundance or a state like, and when I say abundance, of a state like, I already have this thing, I'm excited about this thing, this makes me happy, this brings joy, I am content with this thing. Or if it is from a state of lack, which is, oh, I need this, I need more of this thing. Oh, how much better life would be if this was present. Whatever the case is, we create either way, knowingly and unknowingly. You begin to have more power and authority when you know which space you're creating from, but we are all creators, period. And guess what? We use other people to create. We connect. When I say use, I mean in connection. We connect with other people in order to create. And if you really want something big, it is multiple gods, multiple goddesses that have to come together. That is what this world comes from. That is what this world, that's how this world is actually run, designed. We are a part of a system that requires multiple entities that are already functioning. They exist with a law all their own. And when they perform their law to the best of their ability, that's when they are doing what they are meant to do. And they show up in the system, bringing something necessary, something vital. So if there's any state of independence, it would be that it needs to be that everybody is doing what they feel within their spirit, in their soul, they are supposed to be doing. Nothing more, nothing less. And that if everybody showed up doing what they were supposed to be doing, what they felt called to do, Everybody's not called to do the same thing, right? So, because if that was the case, I mean, I don't really understand what that would bring. And maybe I'm just limited. Maybe my understanding is limited. But if we all show up according to the law that's at work within us, the instructions, the vision that we have, and we live that thing out instead of being told that you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. Just maybe we will be further along than where we are. That is my morning talk. That is what I have to say. Please share your thoughts. Okay. I am talking about this idea of self-sufficiency, this idea of being able to take care of self. These are the things that I am talking about in this independence concept. I just don't feel like we are meant to be independent of other people. I think that we are meant to do what we are created to do, but that us doing that will service ourselves and others. And when we're all doing that, then somehow we're all helped. We're all covered. We are all taken care of. That is my thought process as of now. I'm high. When I say I'm high, I mean I'm really passionate and I'm loud. And I've lost my voice all in a moment. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much. Peace, love, light, and darkness, which all work together to bring balance and harmony, first within ourselves and then within our world. This has been another blonde moment with the pretty coach, the pretty preacher, Octogenous Aries Jude. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. All right. And please also let me know if what I am saying too is making some sense as well. I would appreciate it. Acknowledge my thoughts and then share yours. That is my request. All right, bye.